You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
Hey everybody, Dave here. I've talked about Delete Me before, and I'm still using it because it still works. It's been a few months now, and I'm just as impressed today as I was when I signed up. Delete Me keeps finding and removing my personal information from data broker sites, and they keep me updated with detailed reports, so I know exactly what's been taken down. I'm genuinely relieved knowing my privacy isn't something I have to worry about every day. The Delete Me team handles everything. It's the set it and forget it peace of mind. And it's not just for individuals. Delete Me also offers solutions for businesses, helping companies protect their employees' personal information and reduce exposure to social engineering and phishing threats. And right now, our listeners get a special deal, 20% off your Delete Me plan. Just go to joindeleteme.com/N2K and use promo code N2K at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/N2K, code N2K.
Today is June 11th, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazis, and this is T-Minus.
T-minus 20 seconds to LOS speed rest. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
Success for the Mountain God Guards mission.
4.
York Space's Dragoon is ready for launch.
3.
Voyager Space goes public with its IPO today at $31 a share.
2.
Amazon's Project Kuiper's second batch of satellites is set to launch no earlier than June 16th.
1.
Axiom 4 launch indefinitely postponed due to a LOX leak. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We have a whole lot of launch and launch-adjacent news for you today, so let's jump right on in, shall we? First up, this past Monday was supposed to be the launch date for the Axiom 4 mission to the International Space Station, which was then bumped to today. But there will be no launch today either, with Axiom posting this announcement earlier today. During post-static fire investigations of the Falcon 9 booster supporting the AX-4 mission, SpaceX teams identified a LOX leak that requires additional work to be completed ahead of safely launching AX-4 to the International Space Station. SpaceX continues to work closely with Axiom Space and their partners and will only launch when ready. As soon as we have a new launch date from Axiom, I promise you we will be sure to share it with you here on T-Minus. And speaking of launch, Amazon's Project Kuiper announced that they are readying their second batch of satellites. 27 of them are headed to LEO on a ULA Atlas V. The launch is set for no earlier than June 16th at 1:25 p.m. Eastern Time from Cape Canaveral in Florida. With that launch, Project Kuiper's constellation will come to 54 satellites in all, and it's another step towards their goal of 80 launches and 3,200 satellites to deliver satellite-based internet around the world and compete with other satellite internet providers like SpaceX's Starlink. Moving on now to a launch of a completely different kind. Last week, we mentioned that Voyager Space was looking to go public with shares potentially priced around $26 to $29 per share. Today, Voyager officially went public on the New York Stock Exchange and announced that their initial public offering's share price is a little higher than expected from last week's estimate, officially at $31 per share. And with that share price, Reuters estimates that the company has raised about $382.8 million, selling around 12.35 million shares so far. There is a lot of global interest in investing in space and defense companies like Voyager right now, given geopolitics and all that. So, congratulations to Voyager on their nicely timed IPO. Keeping with our launch theme that we have for today, for some reason, York Space Systems says its Dragoon satellite is ready for launch. It's the first in a planned 12-satellite prototype constellation that's designed to support national security missions. The spacecraft will provide secure connectivity to warfighter platforms for targeting, missile warning, and advanced threat tracking. It was delivered within 7 months of contract finalization and is expected to launch in the coming weeks. Dragoon is built on York's LX-class platform and is part of the company's vertically integrated model, which includes design, manufacturing, testing, flight, and ground software, as well as mission operations. The mission supports the Space Development Agency's proliferated warfighter space architecture. And Dragoon is one of 5 missions that York plans to launch in 2025. The company says its production approach is structured to meet government and commercial demand for scalable, responsive mission delivery. And finally, yes, another bit of launch news. Today, Rocket Lab completed its 66th Electron launch, deploying the QPS SAR-11 satellite for Japan's Institute for Kyushu Pioneers of Space, otherwise known as IQPS. The June 11th mission, named the Mountain God Guards, launched from Mahia, New Zealand, and successfully delivered the SAR imaging satellite to a 575-kilometer orbit. This marks Rocket Lab's second launch for IQPS in under a month, and its 4th overall for the company, all with full mission success. The QPS SAR-11 satellite, which is also known as Yamatsumi-1, expands IQPS's Earth observation constellation, which is focused on global high-resolution imaging. And with this deployment, Rocket Lab has now delivered half of IQPS's operational constellation to orbit. Additional launches for IQPS are scheduled through the remainder of 2025 and into 2026, further cementing Rocket Lab's role as the primary launch partner for the Japanese firm's constellation buildout. And for those keeping track at home, this was Rocket Lab's 8th Electron launch of 2025. The company's next mission is expected within days, continuing its cadence of rapid, dedicated small satellite deployments. And that is it for today's Intel briefing for you on this lovely Wednesday. We have plenty more stories for you in our selected reading section of our show notes, which you can always find in your podcast app, as well as on our website at space.n2k.com. Hey T-Minus crew, if you find our podcast useful, please do us a favor and share a 5-star rating and a short review in your favorite podcast app. That'll help other space professionals like you to find the show and join the T-Minus crew. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it. We will be right back.
And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker. Keeping your system secure shouldn't mean constantly reacting to threats. ThreatLocker helps you take a different approach by giving you full control over what software can run in your environment. If it's not approved, it doesn't run. Simple as that. It's a way to stop ransomware and other attacks before they start, without adding extra complexity to your day. See how ThreatLocker can help you lock down your environment at www.threatlocker.com. And now a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud. Identity is the new battleground, and attackers are exploiting stolen identities to infiltrate your organization. Traditional defenses can't keep up. SpyCloud's holistic identity threat protection helps security teams uncover and automatically remediate hidden exposures across your users, from breaches, malware, and phishing to neutralize identity-based threats like account takeover, fraud, and ransomware. Don't let invisible threats compromise your business. Get your free corporate darknet exposure report at spycloud.com/cyberwire and see what attackers already know. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire.
Welcome back. NASA's latest space weather mission is already living up to its name. Well, it's called PUNCH. And you know it's an acronym because in space we do love those acronyms. It stands for the Polarimeter to Unify the Corona and Heliosphere. And it has just released its first images of massive eruptions on the sun's surface, and they really pack up, Punch's four-satellite formation allows it to capture wide-field views of massive coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, erupting from the sun and spreading through the inner solar system. And these first images from Punch don't just show solar outbursts in stunning detail, they offer a rare, big-picture view of how these energetic events evolve as they travel through space. That's the good stuff. This kind of insight is a game changer for forecasting space weather, which can mess with satellites and threaten astronauts in LEO. And on the plus side, it can create dazzling auroras here on Earth. The 4 Punch satellites work together like a single virtual camera. 3 wide-field imagers track the faint solar wind and outer corona, while a 4th narrow-field coronagraph blocks the sun's bright light to reveal finer structures. The images from these 4 then get stitched together in a way, and together they've already spotted CMEs flying towards the camera, with bonus cameos from Venus, Jupiter, the Moon, Orion, and the Pleiades. And Punch is only getting started. To get real nerdy on you, this isn't even their final form. But once they get there, NASA says we'll be able to track solar storms across the entire inner solar system. Are you ready for this? In 3D. Dang, that is super cool. That's it for T-Minus for June 11th, 2025, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. For additional resources from today's report, check out our show notes at space.n2k.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. You can email us at space@n2k.com or submit the survey in the show notes. Your feedback ensures that we deliver the information that keeps you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. N2K Strategic Workforce Intelligence optimizes the value of your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your team while making your team smarter. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We are mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazis. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.